This is a dish that you make when you really want everybody to come over. Everybody's gonna come over and say yes. You want the family to gather, you make chicken parm. Hi, I'm Melissa Clark. I'm a food reporter for the New York Times, and I am in the NYT Cooking kitchen studio today to make chicken parm. Chicken Parmesan is a classic Italian-American dish. It was developed in the early 20th century by Italian immigrants using the flavors from the old country. The tomatoes, the garlic, the mozzarella, the Parmesan. It is a classic comfort food dish that everybody loves. It's impossible not to eat the entire pan when it comes out of the oven. I am using thighs for this recipe because I like the richness, but if you want to use boneless, skinless chicken breasts, it's a direct swap, same instructions. So you do you, I'm doing me. I'm going to flatten them down so they're all even, and then they'll cook evenly, and they'll cook really quickly too, which is good. I love to hit things with rolling pins, only inanimate things. If you have a meat pounder, go ahead and use that too. You could also use the bottom of a jar. You'll see it's between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. Lay it here and continue with the rest of them. And again, don't worry about it being 100% even. As long as it's mostly even, it's good. So we're gonna dredge the chicken in coating, and the best way to do that is to start with flour, then do the eggs, and then do the breadcrumbs. So I'm using kosher salt right here. Okay, we're gonna dredge. Now I have a trick. Dry hand, wet hand. I don't wanna have both hands covered with egg and flour. Like say I need to move the tray, this hand. Okay, into the egg. So the flour and then the egg make this glue that holds the breadcrumbs in place so that you get the crunch. Panko is a really fluffy white breadcrumb that just gives it a lot of texture, a lot of crunch. But you can use any kind of breadcrumb here, as long as it's unseasoned. Oops, as I make a mess all over the floor. Okay, so now the fun part, the frying. Well, it's actually all fun, because chicken parm is fun. I am frying in olive oil, and you want to get enough depth so the oil should come halfway up the sides of the chicken cutlets, about 1/2 inch deep here. Drop a little breadcrumb into the oil, it should sizzle immediately, and then we know the oil's hot enough. I'm going to do 2 at a time, give it lots of space. I know it's tempting, like squeeze another little guy in there, but resist the urge. You don't want to crowd the pan, that's really important because you need to give them room to get crisp. If you squish them into the pan, then they're gonna steam and they're not gonna be crisp. Of course, then again, we are gonna cover them with sauce and cheese and bake them. So crispness is a suggestion. Just a couple of minutes until it's really nice and brown, and then we'll flip it. Not yet. You wanna move these around also because generally your oven top is probably gonna be a little uneven, so move them around so they cook evenly. Another reason not to crowd your pan. There we go, that's nice. So definitely don't walk away and check your email. This goes fast. At this point, the chicken is probably 90% cooked on the inside, and then you're gonna put it in the oven, so it's gonna finish. So you're really just looking for color. You're not necessarily looking to cook it through. It's almost a shame not to just eat them immediately, right? They're so beautiful. Pretty much like layering a lasagna. You start out with your sauce, a little bit on the bottom of the dish. This one is my homemade version. I have a really nice homemade marinara sauce recipe at NYT Cooking if you want to look it up, but you can also just use whatever you love. Some parm. I'm going to layer 1/2 of my cutlets. This is fresh mozzarella. I just pulled it apart. I didn't even bother grating it. Don't get the pre-grated kind for this. You want the moisture in a fresh mozzarella. You're not looking necessarily for browning. Like with pizza, sometimes you want the browning, so you want a drier cheese. But for this, you just want the goo. I mean, the thing is, honestly, the order in which you build this is not hugely important. You just want to make sure everything gets, covered with cheese and sauce. And then the rest of the parm. And then into the oven. Yum! I mean, you could gussy this up with some herbs, a little more olive oil or some black pepper, but I don't think it needs it. I think chicken parm is just perfect as it is. You know, I don't make this enough. It is so good. And especially with the dark meat, it's so tender, it's so juicy. The sauce is garlicky, the cheese is gooey. I mean, it's perfect. You can find this recipe and the recipe for the sauce and about, tens of thousands other recipes at NYT Cooking, or there is a link below. Find us, make it, leave us a comment. We want to hear from you. And now we want to eat more chicken parm.